Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Devils TV. Now in today's video we're talking about the review game of Southampton versus Manchester United. This is the post-match reaction. So yeah, let's just talk about what happened in the game. So yeah, it was a very difficult game. United had to grind a lot to get the win. It's a tough one because we didn't play anything like we did against Liverpool, which was a bit weird considering we did the same lineup as Liverpool. It just looks like we could play completely different. Some players didn't play as well as they did against Liverpool. Some players played better than they did against Liverpool. So it's a bit hit or miss at the moment, and you can tell it's not the type of system Ten Hag wants to play, which is a bit frustrating because we brought him in to be this manager who plays 70% possession, at least 10 shots on goal, and just dominating the game constantly with a high press. And we're just not doing it at the moment. We seem like we're just grinding out wins. And I spoke to my mate who's a City fan, and he said that watching the game, he said that he thought we were under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And even though that's a bit annoying, Solskjaer probably would have picked Maguire, and that would have made us lose. So even though United are currently grinding out games, the way we set up today was completely different against Liverpool, even though we chose the same team. We played a much deeper line, even though we did a high press. But we played a deeper line and we tried to hit long balls to try and do counter-attacking to help out with Rashford and Alanga's pace. Now, personally, I think Rashford's wasted up top. Rashford is, for me, is a left-footed forward, and when I was watching the game, I was speaking to my granddad, and he has an obsession where he likes Rashford to be in the middle because we have no one up front at the moment. And I turned around to him and was just like, well, why can't we play Ronaldo there? And he was like, because Ronaldo doesn't suit this type of game. And I was like, but neither does Alanga. Alanga was terrible today. I feel like Alanga is very bang average, maybe even lower. So I don't know what all the hype is about Alanga. To me, all Alanga is quick. He has a very lack of footballing IQ. He tries to overcomplicate things way too much, and he just makes things harder for himself. But we'll get onto Alanga in a minute. But anyway, so like I was saying to my granddad, I was like, why can't we play Rashford off the left, Sancho in the middle, and Ronaldo? It was Sancho off the right and Ronaldo in the middle. And he turned around and was just going on about how Rashford's pace is more suited for this type of game. And I said, but I don't understand, because you can use that pace on the wing and allow the wingers to do most of the work, getting more forward, and Ronaldo being like some sort of target man and staying on the edge of the box or getting into the box where the wingers cut inside and pass to Ronaldo. And you saw Alanga and Sancho try to do that for Rashford, but you also saw Alanga go into the middle at some point as well. And you just saw the front three constantly rotating. Sancho ended up on the left and he was on the right. Rashford was in the middle, then off the left, and same with Alanga off the left and in the middle. I mean, I guess you try to keep the defenders busy by not knowing what you're going to do, etc. But you still want to have a solid depth and know what positions what. So I guess you're rotating in mid-game, but I don't see City doing that. I don't see Liverpool doing that today, and they won comfortably. I mean, City didn't. City had to work quite hard, but Liverpool winning 9-0. Yeah, they just absolutely battered. Bournemouth, and City came back from Crystal Palace. They were 2-0 down. Bernardo Silva got a good to low-driven shot goal, and Haaland scored an hat-trick. So City fans and Liverpool fans will be excited, and United, it just felt like a very grinding, boring mess. Even though we scored, and it was a good goal from Bruno, a great cross from Dalot, and that's where Bruno's strong point is, where he has a lot of space. He can put our ball and score a goal like that constantly if he's given the ball. So it was a good game. It was quite boring. It was quite a very long game. Southampton tried hitting us really hard when it came to the last 15 minutes of the game, like whipping crosses in, and Martinez and Varane did amazing. Again, this defence is world class to me. Since we've removed Maguire, Shaw and Lindelof out of the defence, we look like a completely different team. We don't seem to be panicking, and especially when Casemiro starting for the team, I think we'll be even better. So for me, I want to talk about Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher when they interviewed Ten Hag on Monday against Liverpool. They were trying to target Martinez, and it was just lazy analysis to me, because Carragher turned round and asked Ten Hag why did he take Martinez off against Brentford, and Eric Ten Hag responded with, "I could have took every player off, but Martinez is doing very well stats wise," and I honestly think it's because Maguire wasn't in the team. Now, we'll look at the first 2 games of the season, and then we'll look at the last 2 games of the season. So we've only played 4 games, so this is a perfect equal, right? So Martinez and Maguire played against Brighton, right? United's 2 goals were conceded because of Maguire stepping too far forward and Shaw losing his man. Nothing to do with Martinez. Martinez got dragged out of position due to the fact of Maguire stepping too far forward. So it's just annoying. And then you bring in Varane instead of Maguire, which should be happening anyway. Varane should be the one starting. If anything, you'd expect it be Martinez and Maguire competing for places, not Varane and Maguire. Varane's just a world-class centre-back for me. And seeing how he's playing this season is how we expected him to come in last season, but injuries just got in the way of him. Now, I'm just praying that Varane stays fit, because he's clearly our best centre-back, and this partnership he's built with Martinez is, like I said, world-class, and I think that they work really well together. They're very much organised. De Gea doesn't panic with him, so De Gea got a first clean sheet in God knows how long today, so I bet he's happy, because now, especially with Malacia and Dalot as well, I haven't even spoke about them, they're working exceptionally well as well, because Varane and Martinez both have pace to get back and help play the high press. And Malacia and Dalot can just run up and down them wings all game. And that's what you want to be seeing from your fullbacks. And hopefully this just develops from here. And like I said, with Casemiro hopefully starting against Leicester, it's just what you want to see as Manchester United fans. But at the end of the day, I saw some improvements. I saw good performances from the team. I feel like the front line was a bit of a letdown. I think Sancho was the better player in the front 3 today. Like I said, I think Rashford was wasted up top, and Elanga is just really frustrating me at the moment. I know we don't have any depth up front, and that's why we need to get Gakpo and Antony, but I'll make a video like that during the week about the transfers. And yeah, I just personally think that with Ronaldo not playing as well, it's starting to look a bit annoying, because it's just looking like Ronaldo needs to go at this point. Because when you think about it, he doesn't want to be here, obviously. Ten Hag's not playing for a specific reason. And especially when you've got Martial out, you'd want a number 9, like a proper number 9, well, number 7 in this case. But you want a proper striker in that type of game, because when it was the first half and it was Elanga on the right, he came in, hit it against the keeper caught it, went back to Elanga then hit it again, and then it went out to, I think it was Bruno, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Bruno. It went over to Bruno. Bruno tried volleying it. A defender cleared it. It went back to Eriksen, and Eriksen whacked it right at the keeper or a defender, and we didn't score from it. So the 4 shots within, I think it was 10 seconds, we didn't score. If Ronaldo was in that position, guarantee he'd score. So that's right. It's like City last season. City would struggle in games because they didn't have an out-and-out number 9 who could score a goal like that, because it's their specialty. And I think in a situation like that, that's when you need Ronaldo. Rashford was no help. Sancho was no help. It was Elanga who was greedy and started that situation off. But he shot. Keeper saved it. It came back to him. He tried shooting again when the front post was already covered. He didn't try to cut it inside or anything. And this is what I'm talking about, Elanga's IQ. He just shoots and panics. It's like there was a bit at the start of the second half where, was it Kyle Walker-Peters? I can't remember, but a Southampton player was pressing Elanga. And Elanga, Dalot had made a run. I think it was, who was it? Yeah, it was Dalot. Dalot made a run past Alanga, Alanga watched him start making that run, and instead of like dragging the ball back and hitting it with his left and sending it forward to Dalot, he tried passing it to a midfielder and then got it intercepted and we lost possession. And this is what I'm talking about. Now, people might not have saw that, and maybe I'm seeing it wrong, but from what I saw, I know the lad's only young, but for me, he really needs to sort of start stepping up his game if he wants to be a Manchester United player, because it's like Rashford, where he has had poor form because he got figured out because he didn't expand on his game. He stayed to the one thing he was good at, which Rashford was keep head down, run at defenders and do a few skills and try and cut inside. And that's what I see a lot from Alanga. And I'm just hoping for Alanga's sake that he starts editing his game and starts adapting to his game and starts doing other things to work on pretty much. And that's what I want, because we don't want another Marcus Rashford who gets figured out and then has a poor game in form and then a load of fans start not liking him, and you don't want that. You want your players to be liked. You want the players to have confidence, and especially with this team, we lack confidence so much. If a goal goes in, our heads drop, and I think that's because of just lack of confidence in each other. And I think that starts from the back, because Maguire, I think every player in that team knows deep down Maguire isn't good enough. I think even Maguire knows that himself. Maguire's hit the lottery when it comes to Manchester United. But like I said, with our defence being world class, Harry Maguire, Shaw and Lindelof are going to have a really tough time getting back into that starting 11. Now, I know Ten Hag said he's going to rotate and stuff, and that's what we're going to expect when we play Europa League and stuff like that. But when it comes to actually starting 11, where you, like for Leicester, for example, Varane and Martinez should start again. Same with Dalot and same with Malacia. Then the players that I've just mentioned in Lindelof, Shaw and Maguire should be nowhere near that first team. Okay? The only player I'd really drop is probably McTominay for Casemiro against Leicester. But that's just my opinion. Maybe he'll drop Eriksen to give him a bit of a rest, because we know Eriksen's stamina isn't the best. But we don't know. And obviously, I'll make a Leicester preview match before the game, obviously. But no, yeah, it was a good game. We're going to get onto the player ratings in a moment, so let me know your player ratings in the comments. But yeah, in the first half, we didn't really create anything. United only looked like scoring 2 goals maximum. We only scored the 1, so we got the win. It was good, and I think if Southampton scored a goal late on, because like I said, they were pressing us quite well in the final 15 minutes. So if they scored, I'm pretty sure Southampton fans would be going, well, we deserve something out of that, and United fans would be a bit annoyed, because, you know, you've got the likes of De Gea, Varane and Martinez working so well together, and they deserve a clean sheet for once. Now, I know this is only their second game as a partnership, and pre-season doesn't count because we played Villarreal and all of them, and Varane and Martinez played with Villarreal. Now, I'm just hoping that this defence really steps up now, because our defence just looks really good at the moment. Liverpool's goal was lucky, because it was De Gea saved it, and it was just a Salah who had an open net where he jumped and headed it in. And there was nothing that any player could have done in United squad, because we were defending for our lives at that point when Liverpool was shooting at us. And Salah and De Gea made a good save, but it dropped to Salah and he scored with a header. But, you know, 2 goals someone's conceded 1 goal in 2 games, considering when we conceded 6 goals in the last 2 games when we started Maguire. I don't know if it's just me, because I don't want to be a Maguire hater, but it's just clear that Maguire just isn't good enough for Manchester United. But yeah, let's just get right into the player ratings then. So for me, De Gea got a clean sheet. I'd give him a 7. I think that he made a few good saves when needed. Southampton didn't really press hard enough. I think they really tried for it in the last 15 minutes. That was their clear going for it to try and score a goal, but throughout the game, De Gea wasn't really tested enough. It was, like I said, it was a good performance for De Gea. Dalot for me, I I think he's up there for being man of the match. He got the assist, he made it, and he was just running up and down. He was an absolute tank today, and this is what you want to see from Dalot. So yeah, I'd give Dalot a 7 as well. I think he played really well. Actually, no, I'm going to give him an 8. I'll give Dalot an 8. I want to do... Actually, no, 7.5 for Dalot, sorry. I'll give Dalot 7.5, and if you want to round it up to an 8, you can do. But for me, Dalot was a 7.5. He played really well, and I'm glad to see that he's had a game like that, because he needed a game like that, because he didn't have the best of games against Liverpool, because we were defending so much against Liverpool. He didn't get to run forward and show his skill, and you can tell that his crossing's getting better and better with each game. And let's just hope that Dalot becomes a serious player for us at some point, because it was only 2 years ago Ole Gunnar Solskjaer loaned him out to AC Milan, and now he's United starting right back. But yeah, Varane, I'm going to give a 7. I just think he's amazing. I think Varane should be wearing the captain's armband. I just think he's a very good player who's very calm. And yeah, I've just give Varane a 7, as well as Martinez. I think this partnership I'm talking about, they did really well. We didn't look like conceding a goal, like, even though, like, obviously, like I said about Southampton pressing and stuff with the last 15 minutes, we just didn't look like panicking at all. And I think Maguire would have panicked, and we would have at least conceded 2 if Maguire had started today. Malacia, I give him a 6.5. I feel like even though he did really well, I just think he didn't do as well as Martinez and Varane and Dalot. I just think that he had a bit of an error in the first half where he intercepted the ball really well, but then passed it right into our box, and he got intercepted by a Southampton player. Even though they didn't score from it, it was just like a mistake that could have cost us. And I feel like Malacia is way better than Shaw at the moment, and Malacia should be starting, but Malacia for me is a 6.5 today. I just think because even though he played really well, he just wasn't as impactful as other players were today. McTominay, I'm going to give a 6. Just an average performance from McTominay. He got a yellow card, as always. He did okay going forward and stuff. He had that shot in the second half on target. And yeah, I just think that when Casemiro comes in, maybe play McTominay as that box-to-box role, and maybe play a bit better. But as we can tell, McTominay seems to be playing a bit better under Ten Hag, but I'd still rather see Casemiro playing. I know he's only had a few training sessions, so that's probably why he didn't play today. Well, he played in the second half, but he didn't start, is what I mean. But yeah, I'm hoping that Casemiro starts against Leicester, though. But yeah, 6 out of 10 for McTominay. Eriksen, I didn't really see much of Eriksen today. He had that shot where he should have scored when United had like 4 shots in 10 seconds, but apart from that, I didn't really see much of Eriksen. I think he did okay. I'm just going to give him a 6. Just an average performance. Did reasonably well. And yeah, I just think that I can't really say too much on Eriksen. He had a decent game. So yeah, a 6 for Eriksen. Bruno. He scored the goal. Like I said, Bruno, give him that space, and he is very deadly. Obviously, you don't really get that much space in the Premier League, but I think Bruno knew that he was getting pressed a lot. So I think that's why Eriksen went more in the middle while Bruno went on the left-hand side for that goal. So yeah, it was a good goal from Bruno. I'm going to give him a 7.5 like Dalot. I don't know. Do I give Bruno man of the match, or do I give Dalot man of the match? I'm going to give it Bruno, because he was our most mobility type player today. He works the hardest in the front four and I just think that he just he was our best player going forward, Bruno, today. So even though Dalot did really well, I'd personally give it Bruno as man of the match. Elanga, I don't know, because I just think he's below average at the moment, and I'd give him a 5.5. So I just think he really needs to work on footballing IQ and just try and simplify his game a bit more, or maybe try a bit more technical with passing and stuff. So like I said, he could have made that easy pass to Dalot in the game where he could have dragged it back and passed it with his left foot, and Dalot would have been through them, because Southampton's left back had stepped up and was marking Elanga. But yeah, a 5.5 for me for Elanga. I'll give Rashford a 6. I think that, like I said, Rashford is a bit wasted as a striker in this type of game. And I just think Rashford had a very average performance. He had a few shots. And yeah, I just think that he was bullied quite a bit, because you saw a lot of defenders when Rashford was in the middle, they'd make sure that they stepped up against Rashford and just making them interceptions and stuff like that. Sancho, I'm gonna give. I'll give Sancho a 6 as well. I think Sancho played a bit better than Rashford, but just not enough to get a 6.5 rating for me. So I'll give him like a 6.2 or something, but I'm going to go in groups of 5. But yeah, for me, it was a decent game for all of them. Just with all the substitutes, I think Casemiro when came on, he did reasonably well. And Fred came on, got a yellow card. But yeah, apart from that, I think just the players who came on, Casemiro did okay. I want to see him starting to show his full impact on the game. But yeah, it was a decent game for Manchester United today. And yeah, please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share. Leave your comments down below of your opinions on the game. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. So have a good night, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.